This is Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox.
And we welcome you back into this week's edition of Financial Straight Talk. It's all powered by Wood-Dadley Financial Group. As always, we are joined by the founder, the president, investment advisor representative, and the straight talker himself, Mr. Jim Fox. My name's Kevin McAlpin, and of course, Jim and I thank you so much for being with us. We are here each and every weekend talking all things retirement, shooting it straight with you, giving you that financial straight talk that you've come to expect year in and year out. If you'd like to learn more, maybe you'd like to get a jump on that year-end financial planning, Jim and his team at Wood-Dadley Financial Group, they are just a phone call away, folks. 321-414-7526 is that number. Again, 321-414-PLAN. Online anytime. It's getfst.com. Get Financial Straight Talk. Getfst.com. All right, so Jim, you and I were just talking, and I think one of these weeks we have to just do a what do Kevin and Jim talk about off air when we are in break? It could fill up.
Well, FCC's got they got their little book. They're like, okay, what are these idiots going to say that we can finally find them on? Kevin, and by the way, do you hear that in the background? So this is the story that is our lives, guys. When you come into our office, we have like a recording studio, right? It's what you see when you come through the door. Well, in Kevin and I's world, this is how things always happen. There's like one of those lift things, Kevin, you know what I'm talking about? Like, because it's a 5-story building.
Right.
So what are they doing? Oh, they're washing windows.
Of course they are. Did they not see the on-air light is on, Jim?
Listen, man, and now if I was like Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity or one of those people, they would not do this to me right now. Right. But no, in all seriousness, it's like we really do sit down and try and figure out what's happening in the world and what information can we give you to just think a little differently, because that's what this is all about to us. This is not about selling. This is not about getting you to come into the office because we're doing some wacky thing. No, what this is about is giving you the information you need to make better decisions. And that's what Kevin and I really do talk about off the air, although we do talk about a ton of other really stupid things. I mean, we record for 56 minutes and we're talking to each other for like an hour and 30 to an hour and 50. That's the story of our lives. Yeah. But I think that, that would be a cool thing to kind of show people what we do as a team in the background, So, I think it's a great idea, dude.
The outtakes from Kevin and Jim. You just never know where the off-air fun is going to... Sometimes it's even more fun than others, and some of it is still not, accessible by the FCC. I don't think it would be approved by, a lot of folks. But,
Yeah, but if you think I have a lot of voices on air, Kevin gets to hear them. Because sometimes I'm in this, like, very particular mode, and my team will come by, and Kevin's like, wow, that just changed your whole tone. And I'm like, yeah, I got to put on the politics face, you know? So, exactly. Hey, in my future life, in my future world, I guess I'm going to become a politician. So, Lord help us for that. So.
Fox McAlpin, 2028. I see the signs now.
Well, listen, dude, it can't be any worse than the nonsense we've been dealing with over the past 3 decades. So come on.
No doubt. And some of that nonsense you can find obviously on social media. You and I were joking that when we were kids, when we were my son's age, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Instagram and TikTok. But Jim, I know that there's a lot of nonsense you can find on there. But can I throw something out there that came across my timeline recently that I think will really impress Jim Fox?
Lord help me. Let's hear it. Come on. All right.
So there was a post that I read recently about familiar products for a lot of our listeners that actually became popular because they were used the wrong way. Can I give you a couple here real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
You use Listerine, you use mouthwash from time to time? Yeah, probably a lot of our listeners do as well. Believe it or not, that was actually created as a disinfectant before someone started using it as mouthwash in the 1920s.
That only makes sense. Hey, let's just pour this in my mouth. Yeah, great. No surprise there. What else?
Yeah, what else could go wrong? Meanwhile, I have younger kids than you do, and I do still find some Play-Doh laying around. Did you know that Play-Doh was invented to clean... Well, you're a better person than I am. Did you know that Play-Doh was used to clean wallpaper originally? Did you know that?
No, but I guess it makes sense. But
in the 1930s, it was used as a cleaner.
Yeah, that's hey, throw that lump of stuff at those kids and see what they do with it. No, what could go wrong?
Yeah, sometimes they eat it. Sometimes they just hide it in places that you don't want to find it later on in life. And let me give you one more. WD-40, which I know a lot of our listeners use. You use it on things that might
Door
be
hinges,
get a little squeaky, right? That was actually used to prevent rust on nuclear missiles, believe it or not. Do you know that?
Yeah, you know what, Bob? Hey, after you get done spraying off the nuke over there, will you go check that door hinge real quick and no, I guess nothing surprised me. So here's what because I haven't prepared, right? I have no idea what you're about to throw me.
Yeah.
How are we twisting this Kevin to a finance story?
Well, the reason I bring all of that up, Jim, and I'm glad you asked that question because you are a radio professional. Sometimes the best things come out from thinking outside the box, right?
Yeah.
Finding new ways to do things. And really, let's be honest, that's exactly what you and the team at Wadadley Financial Group do day in and day out for our listeners, don't you?
Yeah, it really is. And it's so funny because, sometimes like, how you go to church and sometimes the sermon that you're getting, you're like, was a pastor like in the room the other day when I was talking? Because it feels like he's talking directly to me, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening to me right now because just before we came into studio, I sat down with John and John was like, well, how did you learn this? And why did you do this? And and I told him, I said, a decade and a half ago, I was a sales guy, right? I was selling stuff like, hey, whatever, because we've had a lot of really weird products that potential clients are bringing through the door, and it's like a sales environment, right? Not good stuff in a lot of ways. And I was like, to be honest, 15 years ago, I was probably a lot like a lot of these guys, and I realized that instead of just contributing to the problem, like adding, problems on top of problems, I wanted to become a problem solver, right?
Yeah.
And what do I mean by that? I don't believe that solutions to retirement come from buying a product. I think that's a mistake. And I will fight you to the death on that statement. Oh, well, that annuity is really good, or the S&P 500. No, I'm not saying they're not good for what they're doing. I'm saying that you don't find financial independence through a product. Mm-hmm. You find financial independence through knowledge.
Right.
And if you understand how your plan's built, you can make better decisions. The problem is most people out there don't have a clue. Kevin, you probably couldn't even explain to me how the 401k truly works, right? Like you got the basics, but you don't understand what the expense ratios are. You don't understand what turnover is. You don't know what phantom gains are, right? Like that's just and nor do you want to know any of this nonsense, right? So my whole vision as I matured and became a true business owner is how can I use my experiences to help the community? People like my mom and dad who they never knocked on my mom and dad's door to say, hey, my dad's name was Doyle and my mom's name was Ethel. Okay. So very Southern names, right? Hey, Doyle and Ethel, let me go ahead and show you how to become debt free and financially independent. That never happened. But you know what happened? The Kirby vacuum cleaner guy. Hey, let me sell you a $4,000 vacuum cleaner, right?
Yeah.
So that was like my inspiration, that my mom and dad just didn't get the knowledge, and I took it and I ran with it. And I thought to myself, listen, every monkey in this industry can sell a mutual fund or an ETF or a stock or a bond, right? Mm-hmm. So guess what? We talk about investments here because I run an investment firm, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not our primary stuff. It's not about your investments. It's about how you're going to use your investments. How do you generate income? When you generate income, how do you deal with taxation? Is there a more efficient way to use your money? Great example is just what I saw last week. And I think we actually covered this, and maybe it wasn't a week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We had a client. Kevin, did I mention the clients that were spending like $150,000 on a cruise? Did I tell you about them?
You did, yeah.
Right? Crazy. 150. Good for them. Rock on. Go do it. You have no kids. Spend the money. Have fun. Mm-hmm. But let's spend the money wisely. And what we were able to identify is although they were offering them like a $1,400 or $1,500, I don't remember the exact number, deduction if they pay it off by the end of next year, we realized by doing so, it was going to cost them like $6,000 extra in taxes.
Wow.
So by going one more year, granted, they lost the $1,400, but they had a net savings because their taxation was different and lower, right? Mm-hmm. If I didn't hyper focus on understanding the tax code, understanding how to use Social Security, I am no different than every other guy in this industry or a gal in this industry. So what do? We build financial plans like you would go on a road trip. We sit down with you. What do you want to do? What's your vision? You notice I didn't say what do you have yet, right?
Right.
What do you want to do? What does retirement look like to you? How much money do you get? How much money do you want to get, right? Because the difference that I have to plan with is if you get $4,000 in pensions and Social Security and you want 8, Kevin, the shortfall's 4. I got to come up with 4.
Right.
Once I know all of these ideas, then I say, how much money do you have? Because we got to make sense of where it's at. And I got to first make sure the math allows us to get the money for you. But then just having money isn't enough because you got to pay taxes. You got to deal with inflation. You got to think I might get sick and need some long-term care down the road. All these things matter. And what's crazy, Kevin, and what was that? What was it called? A Beautiful Mind? What was that thing where I think it was like Matt Damon and all the numbers and stuff are floating in the air? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, yeah.
Doing calculation, whatever that movie was.
Was that Goodwill Hunting? Or?
Goodwill Hunting.
There
That's it. Yes. Well, that's me, right? I think I have a mental disorder. So we're putting all these puzzles together and we're making sense of it. My job simply is to do this: help you think about retirement differently. The reality is, listen, if you want to go someplace, and there's plenty of folks out there, they do these workshops and they do these dinners, and the answer to everything is buy an annuity or, don't buy. There's one company, their whole thing is don't buy an annuity, come to us. And the other one's like, buy an annuity, come to us. Listen, I'm telling you, both of those are right and both of those are wrong. You've got to have a plan built around your needs. And if where you're at now, it's all about selling products, I believe you're being misled. I truly believe that because you can't build a retirement strategy with products. You have to understand what are your goals? What are your limitations? How does taxation work? What happens if taxation changes? What happens if I get sick? What happens if I need money for my grandchild? All of those things matter. And Kevin, as a cop-out, because this is super important, as a cop-out, I created a phone number that helps me cover all those different scenarios.
Right.
It's not even the phone number. It's the last 4 digits of the phone number. Spell out the word plan. See, most of you don't have a plan. Most of you don't really have a clue even what's going on. You just know you got money. Our job is a little different. Our job is to help you build a plan that allows you to navigate through retirement. It covers all the things we just discussed. And most of it, Kevin, is outside of that box thinking because we want to use the least amount of money to generate income for you so you can have the most amount of money to go out and have fun and do the crazy things. I love, and I hope you're listening to me right now, Don, I love the fact that Don came into my office last week. He goes, Jim, I got a C2 Corvette and a C7 Corvette in the parking lot right now. I'm living life. That is retirement, ladies and gentlemen. Think outside the box. Have fun. Because if you don't have fun with your money and spend it, don't worry. When you die, somebody else will. It's all about putting a plan together. And if you build this plan and if it makes sense and you can understand it, retirement becomes that much more enjoyable. All you've got to do is to see what that plan would look like or to check to see if your plan is going to meet your needs. Some of y'all don't even have any of the above, right? All you have to do to make that happen is pick up the phone and give us a call. We're standing by. My team will get you through the door. The one thing I will promise you, no one here is going to try and sell you something. We're going to walk you through the plan. We're going to walk you through the ideas. We're going to work with you. And the worst thing that could happen is you're going to walk out the door with a better understanding of your retirement, not retirement, your retirement than you had when you came through the door. Pick up that phone, give us a call, 321-414-7526. Again, 321-414-PLAN.
And again, stay tuned. You'll want to be obviously setting a reminder to join us each and every week on the show. We have some fun things planned for the fall months when it comes to the team at Wadadley Financial Group. Stick around. We'll tell you more about that in future episodes. In the meantime, if you've been kicking that can down the road, you've been putting off planning for your retirement, kick it no further. 321-414-7526. Have that initial conversation with Jim Fox and his team at Wadadley Financial Group. 321-414-PLAN or online. It's getfst.com. So, Jim, we are very quickly running out of time on this week's show. Time flies when you're having fun. I think we had another good show here today. And before we do run out of time, I want to leave the floor all yours for the final word.
Thanks so much, Kevin. Well, guys, every week, Kevin and I say the same thing. We understand that you have tons of opportunities when it comes to getting financial information, and we're just honored to be one of those resources. So if there's anything we can do, don't hesitate. Reach out. Pick up the phone. Give us a call. We're standing by. But with all that being said, on behalf of myself and the man himself, Mr. Kevin Mack, I want to thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Financial Straight Talk.
Thanks for listening to Financial Straight Talk with Jim Fox. To learn more, visit getfst.com.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Wadadley Financial Group. Wadadley Financial Group is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC IPW, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Wadadley Financial Group are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This show is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation. Wadadley Financial Group is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during this show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any government agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Wadadley Financial Group.